In April of 2018, there was an epic update to the Project Life app, Freeform Text. This update allows you to add multiple text boxes to journal cards, filler cards, and yes, even photos. It was probably the most requested feature that app scrappers had, and it has now come to fruition, and we are so happy. Now, the Freeform Text is a paid feature in the app. Yes, it does cost $2.99, but when this happened, the app itself became free in the store. That is so cool for people who are just starting out in their mobile memory keeping journey. Now, even though I have already paid for the Freeform Text feature and can't walk you through the steps of purchasing it, let me show you where you can find it. Once you have updated the app and you have a page open, tap on, for example, a photo. Okay? In the upper left corner, next to the photo edit icon, there is now a text edit icon. Now, if you haven't purchased the Freeform Text feature and you tap on this icon, a dialog box will appear with information on purchasing the new feature. But because I have already purchased it, I'm unable to show you that dialog box. I just wanted those who haven't purchased Freeform Text yet to know where they can go about purchasing it. So you can see that I have this page layout open that I created in a previous video, and I want to go ahead and add some text on the photos here. So again, I'm going to tap on this picture right here, and I'm going to tap on my text edit icon. And you can see that a text box appears on my photo. Now, by default, when you add text to a photo, the text will be white. But you can always change the color through your color palette down here. Okay? You can change it to any color you want, just like that. I'm going to go back to white. Notice the two icons that are in the corners of the text box. The one with the X is to delete the text box, while the other with the dot allows you to make the box larger or smaller or even rotate it, like this. See, you can rotate it around, make it larger or smaller, just like that. Unfortunately, you cannot change the size of the text box and have your text respond to that size. So you can't, shrink it in and then have the word edit drop to another line. And I will elaborate on that just a bit later. So I want to add some new text to this text box. And I'm going to do a caps lock and just type in somewhere. Oh, no, actually it was going to be on a sandbar. And let's play around with the fonts. I want this one to be more of a sans serif font. Let's see, I think I like, this one is Poppins. So I'm going to keep it at Poppins and maybe increase the size of the box just a little bit more. And if you want to move your box around, you can just put your finger or your Apple Pencil on that text box and move it all around your area here. Okay, I'm going to keep it down there in the corner and come back here to my text toolbar. And to add a second text box, come to the end of that toolbar and tap the plus sign, and a new text box will appear on your photo. This is going to be a subtitle to my On a Sandbar title, and I want to, type in somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, and this here is the Jonathan font, and it does work really well with a sans serif font. As a recommendation, I would use a sans serif font with something that's a little bit more decorative. I wouldn't do anything that you've got two sans serif fonts on a page, or two different sans serif fonts on a page, or two different serif fonts on a page. Sometimes it can get to look a little bit unprofessional. It can lose its legibility, and I just like really mixing my fonts carefully when I do it. So I like that. So let's back out of here a second. And I want to add a few more text boxes to my photos here. One of the things that I like to do when I have several unrelated photos on a page and not enough journaling space to to talk about those photos is I like to place numbers on all of the pictures and then have coordinating numbers on one journal card with all of the journaling. And I'll show you what I mean. Here's something fun you can do to create a background for your text box. So I'm going to start with this photo of me and Jill, and I'm going to add a new text box here. And I want to make sure that I have a thicker font selected. So I'm going to come back over here to Poppins, and I'm just going to type a period in there. I want to increase this to be fairly large, just like that. I'm going to put it down here in the corner, all right? But before I do that, I want to check what size this is. So it's at 120 because this is the size that I'm going to want to use on the other pictures, okay? So let's come back here and we're going to add another text box. And I want to, again, select the Poppins font because it's nice and thick, and I'm going to tap the number 1. I want to increase this one a little bit, not too much, and I'm going to change the color. And let's change it to this blue. And now I'm going to put it on top of that big old period I just made there, okay? I just want to double check the size of that number 1 font. And I see it's at 50.5. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing for the other 3 photos on my page. I have all the numbers on my photos, and now I want to add the text that will correlate with these numbered photos to this journal card down here. I'll tap the text tool icon, and I want to add my own freeform text box. And I'll just begin to type the number 1, besties on a boat for the 4th of July. Now notice here that as long as I am typing, the length of my text box is increasing. When I want to journal about my number 2 photo, I will need to tap the return key on my keyboard to start on a new line. If I was using the native text box that was formatted for this particular journal card, the lines would automatically be returned on their own due to the formatting of the box. The freeform text box does not know to drop to a second line, so you have to do it yourself. So I'm just going to tap the return key, and I'm going to tap it again to give it a little bit more space. And then number 2 was, I think it was the watermelon photo, so I believe these seedless watermelons are not so seedless. Okay, so here you can see how that text box is increasing, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and finish my journaling for these other 2 photos. Now that I have all of my text placed inside the journal box, I want to move my box down here towards the center of the journal card. And I want to change the color of that to the gray and make sure it's my standard 15-point size, and I'm happy with that. There you go. Those are just a few examples of what you can do using the freeform text option in the Project Life app. Now, I do have another layout I want to add some text to, and it was the one that I did with the full 12 by 12 collage of the seashell when I was at Captiva Island. So I'm going to tap on that large photo and come up here to that text tool option. And I did notice that with these larger placeholders, these larger photo placeholders, I have not been able to click and drag the that dot to increase the text box size. So I'm just going to come over here and increase it through the text tool itself, just so I can see it a little bit better. So I'm going to increase this to just 100 even. Okay. And I want to change my font. So I'm going to come over here and select, I think this is Source Sans Pro. And I'm going to put a cap lock on there. This is going to be Captiva, C-A-P-T-I-V-A. All right. Now I'm going to get a little bit creative here. I'm going to add another text box. I'm going to increase this to 100 as well so I can see it. And again, select Source Sans Pro. I'm going to play around here with this bracket and lowercase Ted. So it looks like captivated. Okay, I just loved this island. I cannot wait to go back. Let's get it lined up just like that. And then I'm going to add one more text box. I'm going to increase this font size. I'm not going to make it that full 100. Go up to 83. And then I'm going to choose a different font again. This time I want that one. It's Caution Script. And this one I'm just going to tap in the word island. Just like that. I'm going to move it up here. Now let's play around with color a little bit. So Captiva I'm going to keep white. This one here, the Ted within the brackets, I want to change it to that aqua color, and then island. Oh, I'm trying to select it. Let me tap out of there for a second. No, there we go. And I want to use the darker blue. Look at that. Isn't that some cool word art there? I really like that. I think I want to move it over though. Let's tap on Captiva. I'm going to move it over here in the corner more. The Ted, move it up. And then island, I'll move it over. There you go. I did notice that whenever you have multiple text boxes on a photo or your layout, whatever text box you select, so I'm going to tap on Captiva. Look at how this is layered. See how the word island is on top of Captiva? Now watch what happens when I select Captiva. It's going to move it above that word island, okay? So that's something that you may want to keep in mind when you're playing around with multiple text boxes. Again, here, Ted, you can see is under the word island. I don't know if you can see the upstroke of the D is on top of that aqua bracket, but if I tap on Ted, you can see that it moves it to the top. So I just want island to be on the top, and I'm going to tap there, and it has brought it back to the top. Okay? So let's X out of here. How cute is that? I really, really like that. So that's another fun thing that you can do with freeform text. I am confident you are all going to get really creative with this new freeform text feature. I know many of you are active on a wide variety of social media app scrapping groups, and there is a plethora of ideas out there already using the freeform text option. But I wanted to show you a few more things you can do, and I'm going to do this by demoing it in the collage templates, but understand you can do these techniques directly in your full page layouts. So I'm just going to open up my collage section here and just stick with that basic collage template with the 2 3x4 placeholders. I want to tap on my blue placeholder and just navigate to my kids section, to the neutral card kit, and place a white card here in that placeholder. We're going to create our own journal card. Tap on the text tool, and I want to add my own freeform text box. And instead of adding text in this box, we're going to come down here and switch to my emoji keyboard. And I just want to make a real simple border using the palm tree emoji. So I'm going to make it go across a few times like that. And let's increase the font size. So it's going across the page, and I'm just going to move it down here to the bottom, just like that. Come back to my my toolbar, my text tool menu bar, and add a text box. And here I can just go ahead and, type your text here. So this is just a test. Just a test. And I want to apologize if you guys hear any thunder, cracks of lightning, anything like that outside. We are in for a doozy of a storm here on the Gulf Coast of Florida this evening. So let's increase the font size here, and you can see that we have just created our own journal card. Let's create another one. In the other placeholder, we're going to X out of there and tap the orange placeholder, tap the icons for the kit, and let's find another card to put in here. How about something from the Fine and Dandy collection? And let's put in, how about this yellow one? Okay. I'm going to X out of here, and I will tap the text icon. And you can see, because I selected a filler card and not a journal card, that the text box, the text within that text box by default is going to show up as white. So I can change this. I want to be able to see exactly what I'm doing. Let's change this to black for right now. And I want to come over here to my fonts and select a fairly thick, let's try this one, the Mouse Memoirs. And I just want to type a period. Okay, and we did this before where we added numbers to the photos. So let's just increase the size of this dot some. Come over here, and let's make this a little bit bigger and see if we can grab that corner circle to increase the size. Here we go, and bring it up. Let's move it. We've got to manipulate it a little bit so we can make it fairly large on our placeholder here. Increase it some more. Okay, now let's back out a little bit. You can see we have a nice big circle here, but I want to change the color of that. So let's type on that text tool again, type on the text box, and then I want to change the color to white. Let's manipulate that. Come back here, add another text box. Let's change that to black text. And again, I'm just going to type, "This is just a test." So you can see how much further your kits are going to go just by using the Freeform Text option. We're going to back out of here. That was fun. And I want to close out. Yes, I'm done editing that page. Let's open up another collage template, but this time I want to use a 4x6. Let's do a vertical option, and we're going to make our own filler card. I'm going to tap on that big blue space and select a filler card, and I want to navigate to a different kit. I think I want to use some colors from the Roundabout card collection, and I'm just going to place this pale yellow card on my collage. I'm going to tap out of there and then select the text icon. I want to add a Freeform Text Box. Come over here to Colors, and you can see the colors from Roundabout show up here. And I want to select this, let's go with this orange. And I want to increase my font size, just like that. Let's change the fonts. I'm going to come back here to Mouse Memoirs. I want to lock my caps and type in sun. Now I want to zoom in just so I can get a better idea of if I'm grabbing that dot here to increase the size of the font even more. I've been finding that I really have to zoom in sometimes on these just to be able to grab that little dot and increase the size of the font. So, all right. I like that. Let's back out. I want to add another text box, another freeform text box. And this time I want to use this, well, this neutral color here, or maybe this brown. That'll work better. Come to Mouse Memoirs and increase my size. Let's zoom in again so I can see about grabbing that corner, that, come on, really got to zoom in here. Let's grab it, there we go. Pinch to zoom out a little bit, and I want to type in sand. Oh, increase, that looks good. X out, tap it, and I want to move that card a little bit more. Let's bring it up. Nope, wrong one. Need to tap this one. There we go. Bring that down. Bring this down. And then finally, one more text box. Want to increase the size and change the color to this blue. Change the font. We'll come back to, actually let's try this one, the Cushion script, and see what the caps lock looks like here for the word surf. There. Zoom in. Want to make sure I can see what I'm doing here. Tap it again. I don't know if I like that surf, the lettering on there. So as soon as I can grab that card or that text box, I'm going to change that. I'm just going to come back to the Poppins or the Mouse Memoirs. Zoom in. We're going to arrange these all nice and neat and orderly in just a moment. Okay, there we go. So let's tap on that icon again, and we need to move some things around. So let's see, let's bring surf down here to the bottom. Actually move it over to the side. I want to get sand in here. Surf there, and then bring sun in. Whoops. I keep hitting my keyboard and it's losing the text option box there. Let's bring this down. There. Let me decrease that size a little bit. Oh, too much. There we go. Tap. You can see it just takes a little bit of manipulation to get it the way you want it to look. Just stick with that. Maybe decrease that size a little bit. I'm having a real hard time here. Oh. Bring this guy up. Sun, sand, and surf. There you go. I still think could play around more with the word sun and the sizing and just the spacing a little bit more. But, you do this in your layout and you have a fun filler card to go along with your beach pages. This freeform text video is just really only scratching the surface of this amazing feature in the Project Life app. I know you guys are going to get really creative with it, and when you, create some cool things with this feature, please post it in our classroom Facebook group, as I know everybody will appreciate that.